am Matt, the Helpful Home Inspector, coming at you from our studio up in Hartford today. We have another inspector from our company, Mike Severson, coming in here helping us out today, giving you guys some tips and tricks. How's it going, dude?
Doing all right.
Mike just got out of a tree. He's a big deer hunter, so he was up there watching Find Bambi or Daddy Bambi. What Daddy Bambi? I don't know.
Yeah, Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad. Shooting for him. But no success today. He was just doing a lot of looking and cold. And we had a lot of snow. We had a bunch of first snow of the year. Yeah. Bunch of snow. There's probably
like 12 snowstorms. It's on and then off.
Yeah, on and off. But we probably have 2-3 inches sitting on the grass outside. I mean, it'll probably melt in the next couple of days. But it is that time. It is October 31st, 2023. It is time to get your house ready for winter, and that's going to be our main topic today. We're going to be giving you all the tips and tricks that you need to do to maintain and take care of your house and get it ready for winter today. All right, we're going to go through all the different parts of your house, all the things that you should be doing, and some of the things you might have already done, some of the things you might not even know you should be doing, but you should. And we're going to go through all that stuff. If you guys have any questions about any of the things that we're going to talk about or anything about your house, feel free to drop it in the comments down below. We'll be happy to help you out with that. If you like our show, you appreciate our content, hit the subscribe button down below. That will basically let you know when we have new videos coming out and things like that. One of the things when we're looking at getting ready for a home, getting our home ready for winter, is taking care of the exterior prep, right? This is where we think winter generally happening, right? Is the exterior prep. And we're talking about the outside of your house, your yard, that kind of stuff, all right? And I have a whole list here, Mike. Should we just tackle them one at a time?
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
So on the outside of your house, everybody, when you have landscaping and things like that, you're going to have bushes and shrubs and things like that. And every type of plant needs to be cared for in a different way, right? If I have tall grasses, I don't want to cut those down right away at the beginning of winter, because then that opens up the tubules and they'll get fluid in there, water and stuff like that. You'll get bacteria and the types of things that will grow in the grasses, causing it to have disease and things like that. So those tall grasses, you really want to wait until the spring to cut those down, so you don't get any diseases, extra diseases and things like that. But some bushes, like rose bushes, you'll see people put little foam covers over and things like that, because they don't like the bitter cold, and you don't want them to die or anything on you. When it comes to bushes and shrubs, you want to make sure that you're doing the winter prep that's appropriate for your plants, right? One of the ways that you can do that is learning more about the different plants that you have. I have an app on my phone that I can actually take a picture of the bush or shrub, and it comes up with, what it is and where it initially came from and all that kind of stuff. But it also gets into the winter care of that bush or shrub, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, what's the name of the app?
The name of the app is Picture This.
Okay.
Picture This is the app. It basically is like a camera on it, and you push the camera and then you aim it at whatever the plant or leaves or the bark of a tree, and it tells you exactly what that plant is and stuff. When we moved in here, we had what was the company, Tam? We had McKay Nursery. That was what it was. So McKay they do like landscaping and that kind. They're a bigger company, but we had somebody from McKay come down, and they went through our whole yard with us, because we moved in. There's like a jungle in our backyard. You've seen it. It's like there's a lot of plants, and my wife's got a little bit of a black thumb, so we're not. Sorry. We're not necessarily.
That's why I have hostas and 4 arborvitae.
I know. I love hostas.
Yeah. But we're not real plant people. As far as if it was our backyard, we probably would never have planted the plants.
Yeah.
But we inherited it, and we want to make sure to take care of it, and it looks beautiful when it's taken care of. So we had McKay come down, and they went through every plant with us, and we videotaped that. We paid the guy it was like $100 or something like that, right?
Yeah, and then he took us around and told us what the plants were and how to care for them and all that stuff. It was fantastic.
Videotaped the whole thing, and then for the first couple of years, I would play that video with all the things that I needed to do for the fall and the things that I needed to do for the spring, and that kind of stuff, which worked out really well. And I would imagine McKay probably still does that, or a consultation visit. A lot of those landscapers, this is their slow time. They would be happy to take a $100 job, better than sitting home watching YouTube videos, right, or whatever. But a lot of those landscapers are not plowing snow right now. They're not cutting grass. Some of them are doing fall cleanup still a little bit, but most of those are probably coming to an end here shortly as well.
Maybe aeration.
Yeah, maybe some aeration and some winterizing fertilizer.
Not in the next couple days.
Yeah, but there's not a lot going on for those guys. So I mean, they could come out and do a consultation with you, and they're pretty knowledgeable dudes, you know. So go out there and having some of that added information, so you can know how to better maintain and take care of the different shrubs and stuff that are in your yard. It's good, not a bad idea. And then that app Picture This would help a lot as well if you didn't want to hire somebody to do that. And the app, I want to say there is a free version of it, but it only lasts for like days or something. Yeah, it's like a week or something like that, you know. But I just did the paid version of it, and that way, when I'm on site with clients and they ask, "What kind of tree is that? What kind of bush is that?" You know, I can take pictures of it and kind of let them know, and then I can just take that picture that it gives you, the information, I can text it to them, which is kind of cool. Yeah, trees are one of those things that all the leaves have probably fallen off or near fallen off. If it's a young tree, you want to make sure to protect the base of it, because rabbits and things like that, it will go and gnaw at the bark and stuff, and could damage the base of your tree. So you get tree wraps on the bottom. Sometimes use those corrugated plastic sections, you know, and protect the trees. Sending the trees into winter with some extra water is a good idea as well. It helps them come back better in the springtime. So putting in a little bit of you're emptying hoses out and stuff anyway, so put a little bit of water at the base of the tree or whatever to give it a little bit of energy and be ready to go for spring would not be a bad idea. Arborvitae, you mentioned you got a couple of those. We had probably 3 or 4 of them on the back side of our pond there that they just weren't doing well. They were struggling. So we ended up switching them out, and we got some 4 young ones. Okay, and initially didn't know anything about arborvitae, you know, and so I put them in. I thought they were just like super durable. No. They're not. No. They're not at all. So we put these arborvitae in, and the next thing you know, we go out there in the springtime, and all 4 of them are dead. Like less than a year. Now, thankfully, the nursery we got them from had a 1-year warranty, so we went and got 4 brand new ones or whatever. But they're like, we only do this once. You know, so coming back every year ain't gonna cut it, you know. Yeah. And so we went back, we got 4 new ones. This time we got a little bit more education from them and learned a little bit more about them. And so the deer do eat them, you know. So if they're not real big, the deer can chew the leaves off real quick, you know. Yeah. Also, we learned that arborvitae can get sunburn.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So young arborvitae, when they get the sun comes on them, they can they basically generate energy from the photosynthesis process, you know. But ultimately, what ends up happening is they have no place to send the energy because their root system's all frozen, so they end up burning out. And so when you see people wrap their arborvitae in burlap, you know,
that's what we do.
They're protecting them. Yeah, so wrapping them in burlap is a good idea. I think did we make a video for that, Tam?
Yeah, we did. I can repost that.
Yeah, we can repost that. But
Mike, do you wrap yours too?
Yeah. Good idea. And all you need is a roll of burlap and some twine, you know, and just wrap it around there. And
not safety pins.
Not safety pins. It'll blow right off.
Well, no, it works. It just doesn't work very well in the springtime. We have to take them off and keep track of all the safety pins.
Oh, dogs. Yeah. Get them in the mulch or whatever in the grass. Yeah. Just a little bit of twine is all you need. Yeah, it would do the job, and that's what we do. But ultimately, putting them on there is going to help those arborvitae last longer, perform better, and just hold up over the winter months. The next thing we have is gutters and downspouts. A lot of people the ground's gonna freeze. Why do I have to worry about water? You know, the ground on the top freezes, but the water still percolates through. Where do you think all the snow melt goes when the snow melts? You know, it all goes down through the soil and can still cause your sump pump to operate and stuff like that. Sometimes people find that their sump pump will operate more in the winter because the ground freezes and that water moves more readily along any poor grading and things like that instead of being able to saturate into the soil. So. Yeah. Want to make sure those gutters and downspouts are free and clear. Downspouts should all discharge how far away?
4 to 6 feet.
4 to 6 feet minimum.
I mean, 20 feet is good too.
20 feet.
People
great.
cutting grass around things.
Yeah, and they always want to make sure they're discharging to a good grade, taking the water away. And as far as the underground downspouts, I'm not a huge fan. Only place I'm a fan is around sidewalks and stuff, so you don't have downspouts going over the top of sidewalks and driveways. But if you have underground downspouts, you can't verify that they're working. Most of the time, they're going to be damaged or clogged. The only ones that I come across that they hardly ever get damaged or clogged are the ones that are made out of PVC. Those corrugated black tubes that the landscapers put in never hold up. They always get crushed and damaged. Freeze and root intrusion and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so making sure those gutters and downspouts are free and clear is always a good thing. Check your roof. So even though your roof may not be leaking during rainstorms, when snow comes, the water moves very slowly and can find those cracks and stuff better. So you might find that your roof doesn't leak during a heavy rainstorm in Wisconsin, but during a snow melt, could leak. Yeah, so you want to make sure to check your roof. To check your roof, you can get up on a ladder if you want. I would not recommend it. Okay, hire a professional to come out and take a look at your roof if you want. Otherwise, walk across the street with the binoculars and take a look. You know, see if there's any missing shingles or any damages and things like that. They also do. There are companies now for like $600 offering roof tune-ups. You know, where they come out and you know, patch any missing shingles, fix it up or whatever. Try to get you a little bit of extra life out of it. You know, if possible. Turn off hose bibs and drain.
Well, if you have traditional hose bibs, you're going to have the round handle that you have to crank until it stops. So you got to go down to the basement, turn off your shutoff valve. If you have the shutoff valve that has a bleeder screw on it, you can take that off and actually drain the water off from the basement.
By that, you mean like if you look where your interior shutoff is, there's a little screw that you can take out.
Yep.
Put a little bowl underneath it.
Yep.
All right, and drain
bowl,
that.
Bucket, wherever it is. Yep.
Let that drain out. Leave it open for a little bit.
Yep.
Let it get all that water out of there.
Yeah.
And then, what, like
throw the cap back on and tighten it up. Make sure you tighten it all the way back up.
So it doesn't leak in the basement there?
Yeah, so it doesn't leak, or you could go to turn it on in spring and find a leak then.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And the foam covers on the outside.
I don't really like them.
I don't know that it's necessary.
Once you have all the water out.
Yep.
There's no reason to spend extra money and extra time.
Yep.
You know?
That we do use them up north just because I have a crawl space up north, and there's some areas of the crawl space that I can't get to the back of the shutoff valve at all to drain it out. So I put those on. Basically, trying to keep the temperature out a little bit. You know, but it's not terrible. Not going to hurt your faucet by putting it on there. It's just an extra expense. But yeah.
The other part with that is if you have a frost-free one, then you don't technically have to drain it. But I always tell people if you're not going to build an ice skating rink during the wintertime, just turn it off.
Yeah. Why leave it on?
Turn it off.
And it's a mechanical device. Mechanical devices can fail.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So,
disconnect your hoses.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Take your hoses off. We take all of our hoses off and lay them in the driveway to drain them all, you know, let them get nice and dry. And then we wrap them up, wipe off the hose, and bring it into the garage, you know. And our hoses that we've had on here probably since we bought the house, right? 14 years-ish. I don't think we've ever had to replace them.
I believe we replaced them, but I might be thinking the cabin.
Maybe the cabin. I don't think we've ever had to replace the ones at home here. As long as we take them off and we drain them all out and stuff, wipe them off. And I mean, I've never had tears or splits or anything like that at all. You know, we got the nice rubber, green rubber hoses. So it's a nicer quality hose. But lawn care is one of those things that there's guys that'll take it to the nth degree. You know, but generally speaking, you can mulch all your leaves into your grass, which isn't a bad thing. Okay, if you have a lot of leaves, that can really cause a deep mat and cause your grass to not grow very well. You know, mulching up some leaves or whatever, not a huge deal. Also, in the winter time, you want to keep your grass kind of short, so cutting it at about 2 to 2.5 inches is a good idea. And then also aerating is a great thing to do in the fall. Yeah, aerating with some winterizer and fertilizer in there will help that grass to really come back.
Now that the snow has fallen, can you still aerate the lawn at this point?
Yeah, as long as the top surface isn't frozen. Yeah, aerating is never going to hurt the lawn, whether it's in the spring or the fall, doesn't matter. Aerating is always a good thing to add a little bit of aeration to the soil or whatever to allow that grass to grow better. You know, definitely don't want to leave those leaves all sit on top because they'll mat down, and then what they'll do is they'll basically kill the grass off in that area. You'll have a hard time getting it to grow back in the springtime. It eventually will, but it's a bit more difficult to do. As far as mulching up the leaves, if you want to blow your leaves out into the curb and stuff like that, that's fine. But make sure that they're not going to block any of the storm sewers. If we block the storm sewers, then you're going to have other problems in the roadway and things like that. It also is not good for the municipality to handle all the leaves and everything like that. So, mulching them up is probably a better way to do it than putting them in the street. But I get it. We drive down our street here, there's big piles in the street, just people blowing them off their lawn or whatever. If you do want to take them to the compost place, that's fine, but you got to buy the cardboard, or not cardboard, they're like it's like paper bags, big beef paper bags or whatever is what you would want to take those in. Don't take the plastic bags there because they're going to make you rip all those open and dump it all out. So it's kind of a pain. And then as far as the satellite dish goes, so if those of you that
do you want to hit sprinklers right away?
Did I miss sprinklers?
Well, sprinklers is
sprinklers are the next system. Yeah. So being that we're talking about lawns, sure.
Yeah.
So what do we got to do with sprinklers, Mike?
Sprinklers, you got to turn. Well, you can do it yourself. Or you get the professional out. If you've never done it before, you definitely want to get a professional out to show you how to do it.
Yeah.
But basically, you're going to turn the water off the whole system. You're going to hook up an air compressor to each individual zone and blow out the zone until all the water is basically out. And then you go zone by zone until it's all out.
Yeah.
And then inside the house, there's usually a small section that you can drain. There's an actual drain valve that you drain all the water out and turn the system off.
Yep.
There you go. Then you're good for...
I would always recommend the pros come in and do it because they're going to bring in that huge compressor.
Oh, yeah.
And they're gonna blow out the whole system all at once type of thing, And then also adding in a little bit of like RV antifreeze into the system and blowing that through the heads isn't a bad idea. So you don't. When you get those frozen heads, then you have to go and replace all those heads, which is a pain in the butt, And the last thing you want to do is leave bellies of water in there, because then that all freezes and then you have broken pipes that are underneath the soil. And usually those sprinkler systems are 6 to 8 inches below the soil. And our frost line here, generally 10 to 16 inches, depending on the winter, right?
Oh, yeah.
The frost line that they want you to be below for building code purposes is usually 40 inches in our part of the United States. But, having those sprinkler heads blown out professionally, maybe $300 or $400,
Something like that.
Yeah, but it's one of the things you just got to plan for when you purchase that type of a system or have that type of system in your home. You got to maintain it, and it's not something that's done for free. But if you want to do it yourself, you totally can. You just you got to make sure you do it right. So otherwise you're going to be costing yourself problems and cost yourself money.
Eric did it. Yeah, my stepdad did it. He had a large compressor to be able to do that.
Sure.
So you just ran the hose out the window, hooked it up, and blew them out. Worked great.
Blew them out. All the heads lift up. All the stuff blows out. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. The satellite dish thing. So if you guys have satellite TV, okay, one of the things that you probably have frustration with occasionally is the snow buildup on your satellite dish and your signal loss. Okay, and if that is a problem that you are sick of dealing with, spraying a little bit of cooking spray on your satellite dish is not a bad thing. It's going to help that snow kind of shed more easily and not get stuck on the surface as much. Now, the difficult thing is sometimes those satellite dishes are in inconvenient places, but either way, you're probably going to need to get on a ladder to get up there and to put that on there is not really a super easy way to do that. But putting a little bit of cooking spray on there is going to help you lessen your frustration when you want to watch the Packers lose again. I was up at the Packer game Sunday. It was tough to watch, but
yeah. We're told I didn't miss anything.
You didn't miss anything great. No, they're having a rough time. And spray that satellite dish with a little bit of cooking spray will help. And then asphalt driveways. Asphalt driveways are best to be sealed in the fall time, and it can be done anytime. But asphalt driveways do require regular maintenance. And if you maintain your asphalt driveway, it should theoretically last as long as concrete does. But if you don't maintain it, it will turn to gravel. It's just the fact of life. The asphalt, the material that holds all those little gravel pieces together and that gets pressed together in there to make your asphalt does evaporate over time. And the UV rays and the sun and the heat, all that kind of stuff attributes to that. By getting a sealant done in the fall, it's going to help the asphalt driveway perform better all winter long. It's not going to get as much salt damage and stuff. And something I almost always recommend that professionals do, just because you can do it yourself. You can go out and you can buy the buckets, you can buy the squeegee, but it's going to cost you a pair of jeans, it's going to cost you a pair of shoes, a shirt. Your hands are going to be black for days, It's just it's a mess, and you're talking about saving yourself $75. I don't know how much your pants and shoes cost, but probably $75 would be a steal. Where you're talking about having a professional come in for $300 or $400 on a moderately sized driveway. Obviously, if you have a super long driveway or a lot of surface area, it's going to be more. If you have more cracks to fill, these guys, they can also come in and fill the cracks. They can also put buildups at your driveway when it comes up to your garage, so you don't have that big hump there and stuff like that. Concrete, you want to put a sealant down there usually every 5 to 6 years on the exterior of your the home, but it's a lot easier to apply than the sealant that goes on asphalt. The sealant for concrete can be sprayed on with a garden sprayer. it's real thin. And it just penetrates into the concrete. Either way, you got to protect your driving surfaces. Those are expensive to replace, and if you let them go, they're going to deteriorate very quickly. Next thing we have is storing exterior furniture. So we have a table and chair set outside. We move our chairs because they have this like fabric on them, move the chairs inside a shed that we have outside just to protect them from the UV sun, which would cause a lot of damage. And then the table, we put a tarp over the top of it to protect the surface of it a little bit. But it's basically just a aluminum table, so nothing crazy. We've painted it once, but I think it's still the original one that we got when we moved in here. So
it is the original one.
Yeah.
I just repainted it.
Repainted it one time, but it holds up really well as long as we take care of it. I would imagine if we left it out there all winter long, every winter, it would start to deteriorate more quickly. So sealing up exterior openings, we're looking at preventing mice and things like that from getting in, but also moisture, and things.
Airflow.
What's that?
Airflow,
yeah.
Condensation or frost coming.
Air sealing is a thing, every place you let an air out of your house, you're losing heating dollars, so yeah, for sure. So seal up exterior openings. If you have a larger opening that you need to seal up, do not use spray foam. Spray foam is not a sealant to be used on the outside of your house. Spray foam is an insulator that you use in door jambs and inside walls and that kind of stuff to insulate those spaces that need to be filled and are going to be covered. You should not ever see spray foam when you're done.
UV light deteriorates it.
Yeah,
Time.
UV light deteriorates it. The mice will chew right through it. Yeah, and if you want to seal up an opening on the outside of your house, you need to either use a like material with what you're trying to seal up, or if you're going to use caulk or something like that, put a little steel wool in the area as a backer, and then put the caulk on. And even if the mice did get to chew through the caulk, they're not going to get through the steel wool at all. So you just don't want to leave the steel wool poking all out. It's going to rust and deteriorate and could become a part of the problem, so yeah, stake your driveway to prevent lawn damage. So Tammy gives me crap that I put these blue stakes on the side of our driveway every winter, and in our subdivision I was like the first guy to do it, because as soon as we moved in I put it in,
And they were the only one on the cul-de-sac that puts those things in.
There's 4 of them. There's 4 of them in our little road here that do it, and
do you put those in too?
What's that, theirs?
Yeah.
The other guy, no. I'd help them put them in if they wanted me to, but just so I wasn't alone.
Matt's over there putting them in.
I'm going door to door. You guys really should put some stakes in. My wife's giving me shit.
For you.
That way he's not feeling like he's alone.
Yeah, that's it. But putting some stakes in. I do it for 2 reasons. One, to prevent lawn damage. Whether it be from when we had a plow, used to have a plowing business, and I would use the plower and stuff, and I didn't want to have big hunks of grass taken out and sod removed. So that was one of the reasons. But also when I'm using the snowblower, I don't want to start digging up my yard and blowing dirt, and that's no good. Probably the most important reason that I do it is that my wife and kids don't know how to shovel. I love them all. I love them all dearly. But when it comes to shoveling, they don't want to get to the end. They get to where it's a little bit...
over to that button quick.
they get to where it's difficult to shovel, and they just stop. So what happens is my driveway shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. It gets littler and littler all winter long.
For the record, I never see your little booty out there as often.
Out there. Maybe not as often, because that is one of the jobs that I gave my kids, because I do all the other stuff. Seriously. I love you guys all, and Peter probably does the best job at the shoveling, but it's just one of those things that if you don't have a place to know where the edge of the driveway is, you're just gonna guess either that or you're gonna shovel onto the grass. You know what I mean? And yeah, it just is what it is. Might just be me. Is it just me?
I know where my concrete is, so I just go.
Yeah, you don't have anybody, but there's no way Jen goes out there and shovels.
She does, actually.
Does she?
Yeah, she actually likes shoveling.
She likes shoveling. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. What about Scarlett? Does she get out there?
Help shovel.
She likes to help shoveling? Should she make more work for you, or should she actually put her work go? She does good, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah, she's got a little red shovel.
A little kitty shovel?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Does she get a little kitty snowblower?
No.
You guys just, because you guys have that alleyway at the back of your property.
Yeah.
Is that the city? Or that is the city? Because sometimes it's like a private company that does.
No, city doesn't.
Big trucks?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So they start at the top and push it down into the park.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So that is the outside of your house. And when you're looking to maintain the outside of your house,
AC too.
It's a separate one, Mike.
That's outside.
Yes, but it's a separate one.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay. So, but if you are looking to take care of the outside of your house for winter, those are the things that I would recommend for every house. Granted, there may be some oddities there, like if you have a hot tub or a pool or that kind of stuff, or a deck. There's some things you got to do. But ultimately, that's the main things. If you have questions about those other specific things, drop me an email, thehelpfulhomespector@gmail.com. Be happy to help you out with answering any of those questions you might have about maintaining the exterior of your home for winter.
I got one more.
You got one more?
Sump pump discharge.
Sump pump discharge. Yeah, make sure that is clear and running as far away from the house as you can, and don't use a corrugated pipe.
The little, the 1 1/4 or 2-inch corrugated pipes always freeze.
Yeah, they always freeze up, and when that freezes up, that sump pump is still going to get water in it. You don't want it to back up in your basement. So yeah, and so making sure that line is going to stay running free and clear.
And window well covers. That's the other thing I do every year.
Yeah.
Just to keep it out from my basement windows.
Out of the basement windows.
Yeah. That's the only other thing.
Yeah. Not very expensive.
$8.
Yeah. They don't last very long though, too.
No. I hit them once with a snowblower there. It's toast.
Yeah. Well, and just that plastic gets real brittle over time just from UV light and stuff. So yeah. So that's taking care of the outside of your house, getting ready for winter.
Are the plastic ones the best one?
No.
But they do the job.
They do the job.
The thin plastic ones.
I like the ones that are sloped. Yeah. I don't like the flat ones because they just build up with snow and ice and then they just cave in.
Yeah, the thin plastic ones, they go up higher on the house and they slope away. Sometimes you'll catch them with screws. I don't know that you even need to do that. If you just put them in place, put a rock on either
really
side.
Heavy winds. That's the only time I've put rocks up against them or kind of leaning on top of them. Yeah. Right on the edge, and they hold up pretty well. But
yeah, they're still not very expensive, but the plan to have to replace them every 2 or 3 years, which is what it is. Yeah, but that's taking care of the outside of your house. All right. The next topic that we're going to get into, as far as maintaining your home and getting it ready for winter, is air conditioner prep. We just made a short about this with starring Grandma Sparky. We were up north. We're getting the air conditioner put away for the winter up there. But when it comes to air conditioners, what?
You put it in the garage?
Yeah. Do we take it off the house and?
Yeah.
No, we don't do that. The air conditioner is meant to sit on the outside of your house, folks, even for winter, all right? And as far as the air conditioner goes, it's made out of sheet metal. So we every once in a while, we'll come to a house and we'll see it wrapped in a tarp, And when you unwrap the tarp, there's always extra rust and things like that because we're holding a lot of condensation in there. Also, when you wrap it in a tarp, we're more likely to have damages on the inside because mice and things like that. You made a nice little home for them with walls, So never wrap it in a tarp. It'll cause it to rust and deteriorate. Just take a garbage can cover or a piece of wood, something like that, put it over the top of it to keep leaves and debris out, and then put a rock on top so it doesn't blow away. And that's really all that you need to do to get your air conditioner ready for winter.
Kiddie pool works pretty good too.
If you have a really big air conditioner.
Well, I mean, I got a kiddie pool that broke.
Oh, okay. So that works.
It went right on top of the brick.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work. Yeah. And the one that we have up north, it fits perfect with that Rubbermaid garbage can cover.
Yeah. I had one of those at Group.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is maintaining your air conditioner, getting it ready for winter. If you haven't.
The only other thing I do is I turn my breaker off for my air conditioner. Just so if it accidents, especially at so I have rentals. So at the couple rentals I have air conditioners, I don't want them accidentally turning on.
And damaging it,
Damaging it. And then same thing with the short-term rental.
Yeah. So. And they do have a fuse pull on the outside. I wouldn't do that.
No, inside.
I would just go on the inside, turn the breaker off. If you talk to an HVAC guy, they'll say, oh yeah, pull that out, but
flip it over, put it back in.
Just don't mess with that. You're too likely to screw that up or whatever. So just leave that alone, and or electrocute yourself. Because if you leave that off or you're sticking things in there or doing things you shouldn't do, just turn the breaker off in your house for your air conditioner is the easiest way to do that. Hey, thanks for tuning in today, you guys. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you want to know when we put out the next one, give me a bell notification. It's a little bell on the bottom right hand side, and subscribe. You want to know when I'm coming out with new stuff, whatever. You want to be able to check us out and be alerted to new video content coming your way. Subscribe button's really the way to go. Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. Remember, the better you take care of your house, better it's going to take care of you. Have a good one.